Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the No Quitters podcast, the best MTV The Challenge podcast in the universe. I am your host, Clem, and we are joined by my alliance on the podcast. We have your boy, JJ, looking like he's in some sort... Oh, this is the old apartment. Is this a mic stand you have going on there?
Yeah. I just mic stand tonight.
Fancy on us. And we have your boy...
I just got frozen yogurt delivered. I'm going to need both my hands.
And your eyes are drooping a little bit, so we have JJ cooking, and he's lighting up right now as we speak. And we have your boy Captain Cons in a hotel room, shirtless. Can we get a nipple, Cons? Can we get a little nipple shot? Whoa. Go with the right nipple. Yeah. We know you're a right. You would strike me as a right nipple kind of guy. That's your strong nipple.
Absolutely.
In case you thought this show couldn't get weird enough, Ammo's in a kimono on my TV. Yo, do you think for this race relations thing, Nessa woke up this morning and said to her boyfriend, like, hey, babe, I'm going to do race relations too today?
Must have been an interesting conversation. Are they still going out? Is she still dating Kaepernick?
I think her and Kaepernick are still together.
That is, yeah.
For the purpose of this podcast, they're still together.
Yeah, for the purpose of this podcast, they're still together. Ammo's probably in a kimono right now at a Susan Barsh party, too. So I'm sure he's in some sort of...
I'll let you guys know in like an hour when I get there. I'll text you from the spot.
Yeah, so we're taping this, as always, right after the episode ends. So I don't know if anything goes on in the race relations special or whatever it is. We probably won't have it, at least on this podcast, maybe the next one. But
what if Camilla doubled down?
Watch it, but what did you say?
What if she just doubled down?
Yeah,
lost her shit again, and then they killed her. This crowd just killed her.
No, that's probably what the producers told her to do. I just feel like this whole special, you could spin it and say, hey, it's great and there's great intent, but I think it's just very self-serving of MTV. They're like, oh, that got a lot of people talking last week. Why don't we have an additional special about this? I guarantee they cooked this up in the matter of the last few days.
I feel like MTV always does, like, will always have some sort of a special afterwards if they think it's a big enough deal. So I'm actually surprised it was a week late, considering they have all the editing and stuff done. But I'm sure, they also know everyone DVRs, they don't watch it and all that kind of stuff. So
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think they probably saw the reaction on social media and decided, it'll probably be great ratings if we just rehash this whole issue again next week and lump it in with this race in America.
Nessa's got pregnant titties.
Yeah, she does. Wow. It's a great discussion to have, but I just think it's MTV being self-serving. I don't think it's genuine in any way.
Fair enough.
You know what? I'm just really mad at MTV because they had that stupid Fear Factor show on right before the challenge, which, call it Fear Factor, it's still just another version of the challenge, just like the Champs versus Pros is another version of the challenge. And just like, I'm sure you guys both have your favorite restaurants. What makes your favorite restaurant
Wendy's.
Restaurant part of it? What did you say?
Wendy's.
Yeah. Well, I think what contributes to a restaurant being your favorite is not going there all the time. If you go there all the time, then it just becomes like a regular spot that you enjoy, not your favorite. We have had the challenge pretty much every week of 2017. It's no longer, it's lost its luster because not only does now it suck, but it's never ending. So I'm just...
Someone tweeted me today. They're like, most seasons of the challenge had like 8 to 10 episodes. We're like on episode 10 or 11, and there was 21 people still alive. That is fucking ridiculous when you crunch the numbers.
And they're still like, they're out taping like another Champs versus whoever.
Yeah.
Or I think they might be done with that already, and they're getting ready to go. Someone actually DM'd me today that they heard Nicole's on her way out to another one of these because she earned major respect tonight, and she's beautiful no matter what her makeup looks like.
Getting ahead of the story. Good going, Jack. I appreciate you on that.
Well, politics. I'll stick it out here.
Now that you mention it, Connor, that's a good point. The whole Fear Factor thing, because like Fear Factor became the challenge, right? Or Fear Factor being the challenge, because All right, I'll admit, I actually tweeted out at like 9:20. My bedroom was completely dark. I was like, you know what? If I fall asleep, I fall asleep, and we'll figure out how to record the podcast afterwards. Someone was like, "Oh, you're not watching the Fear Factor thing," and I was like, "Oh shit, that was on beforehand. I didn't know what time it was. I forgot." And then I turn it on at like 9:55, and it's fucking Anissa and Laurel on a giant scaffolding over water. I felt like I was watching the challenge. I'm like, this is the challenge. Oh wait, no, it says there's Fear Factor flags everywhere. What a bunch of bullshit. Then the challenge has Fear Factor where they're just eating gross shit. It's like the two shows are becoming one right in front of our faces. It's fucking weird.
And
except on Fear Factor, you got Ludacris just like talking shit to you.
Well,
like, kind of talking shit to you there.
Ludacris versus TJ. I mean, those are two of like my favorites of all time, right there. So the only thing is, I think Ludacris might be a better rapper than TJ. I'm not sure. I have to listen to the TJ rap. Have you guys ever heard the TJ rap?
Wait, what?
I don't think.
There's like a TJ Lavin rap. Yeah. Oh yeah. We're gonna have to put that on at the end of this episode. I'm gonna have to look it up on YouTube. So.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, it used to be, we really looked forward to the challenge because we had to wait 6 to 9 months in between each season.
Nice.
Now, one season ends, the next one starts the next week. I'm challenge fatigue. I have serious challenge fatigue.
Oh, you motherfucker. JJ's taunting me with a rainbow cookie right now. You son of a... This is whatever it's called, 16
handles?
Yeah. You always get one, you say for me. And now I'm starving right now just seeing that. I'm
so glad to share it with you. Yo, why is Jemmy in the audience of this thing? In all black.
Because this is what MTV has become. They've run out of ideas because we stopped giving them ideas.
We need VJs. They need another like hunt for a VJ. I saw some music videos on MTV the other day. I think someone made a mistake.
They're bringing back TRL. I don't remember specifically if we said that, but I'm pretty sure we said they should bring back TRL.
Yo, how long until Connor is just out in Times Square with a sign? Like just eating chicks that skipped senior year of high school.
Did you guys ever go to TRL?
Never did.
No, I'm not a Jewish girl. No.
All right, just checking.
Connor, you went to TRL, didn't you?
No, I've never been to TRL.
JJ, what kind of toppings are we doing with that in that frozen yogurt before we dig into this episode?
We got some M&Ms. We have cookie dough bites. We have cheesecake bites.
Okay, and what kind of ice cream?
And some rainbow cookies on the side. Birthday cake and cookies and cream.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I love all of that except the M&Ms. I never get M&Ms in ice cream or frozen yogurt because it's somewhat hard to begin with. And then when you put it on the frozen yogurt or ice cream, it gets colder and thus harder. And I think it ruins the consistency. And it's like you're expecting something soft to bite into when you got all the other toppings. And then you get one of those sneak in and it crushes your teeth.
I put those in there as speed bumps so that I slow down. I know they're in there, so I'm cautious around the turns. Otherwise, this thing would be gone already.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that rationale. I'm
on record saying, like, the best kind of snacks to get for yourself are the ones you don't really like, but you don't hate. And it's like you'll have 3 to 4 and be like, all right, I don't want these anymore. Like, if you just get, like, your favorite bag of chips, a Cape Cod, that thing's gone by the minute I open it. So I kind of respect that move, JJ. Speed bumps.
Yeah.
It's a good move by you. But I'm with you on that, Connor. I can't do... I can't do M&Ms. I can do like Reese's Pieces because they're pretty soft to begin with.
Right.
So now I'm fucking like, I live in the middle of nowhere and there's nowhere even close to being open right now. I can't get frozen yogurt if I wanted it right now. God damn it.
Do you guys, I always put it like, I like strawberries in there too. And
That's a very Connor thing to say.
That is a very Connor thing to say.
I'm not saying that because I think it's like, oh, it's more healthy if you get strawberries. No. I'm of the mindset if you're getting dessert, you got to go all the way. I just like how strawberries taste with ice cream and frozen yogurt.
Walk by the water, maybe with one lucky lady. This is a personals ad. Everything Connor's interested in is a personals ad. It's if you could just expand an interest on Tinder.
Connor, if you fucking move that camera over right now and I saw there was a nice young co-ed in your bed, that would be a nice little addition to the podcast. We have pillow.
Just pillows.
Not even an indent. Not even a recent indent or anything left behind.
Were those happy tissues or sad tissues?
They're always happy.
Yeah, people are gonna be like.
Speaking of that,
we haven't talked about this show at all.
I know. I was like, people are gonna be like,
stinks.
I'm putting this in the notes so people don't complain. We talked about peanut butter and jelly. I'm like, listen, guys, peanut butter and jelly talk was better than the episode that night. I'm not trying to toot our own horn here, but we're not doing much. The best part of the episode was CT baking the cake to start it off.
yes, let's talk about that. Nice move.
Leroy's puking his guts out. CT is the dude, rebel with a heart of gold, would bake you a cake even though he doesn't know how to cook. And I don't know. I'm like, it was a little like, can we be honest here? CT, they like read the ingredients, hit the butter, and then like someone here will actually cook it. There's no way CT baked that whole cake, right?
I don't know. I want to believe that in his fatherhood, he's become a little more domestic. So even if it stunk, it's possible he gave it a good go.
I guess. I mean, if like baking a cake from scratch, I'm pretty domesticated myself, and I wouldn't know what the fuck to do. I don't understand what flour does. I know like flour is important. Yeah, I need the cake mix to actually get it done personally.
All right. I've never made a cake from scratch, but don't you think between following a recipe and YouTube, you could make a cake?
That's true. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I just
he doesn't have YouTube, but I think like, isn't it making a cake like put all the ingredients together and then bake it at the predetermined temperature and time?
That is how it works.
So I'm giving CT the
so much can go
job.
wrong with making a cake. So much can go wrong. You don't know the oven, so like it runs hot, it runs cold. You could ruin it. Anyone who like really bake. It's such a talent.
Columbia Pie is in fucking like Celsius too. It's not even in Fahrenheit when you're setting the temperature. So God knows what these fucking idiots are doing down there.
It was probably so hot the oven wasn't even on. It was that's just how it cooked.
Yeah.
So
no, but Jack, you're right. I do agree that, and I think it goes for cooking too. But baking certainly, it's got some feel to it, and it is definitely a skill to be good at it. So I'm not saying that cake was amazing. I'm just saying I'm confident that he could follow directions and potentially present something that appears to be a cake. Obviously, with Leroy puking, it must not have been that good. But nonetheless,
I think it was just a lot of butter. Like there was a lot of butter in that bowl.
Yeah, that whole thing of butter seems a little excessive.
This is just a straight up culinary podcast, but I mean they gave us that, so that was the highlight of the episode. We went downhill from there. Another
highlight of the episode I thought was Jordan. He's like, well, hold on. If you're gonna flip this bed, let me get out of it first.
Yeah, that was a great move. You always have the buddy who just always is talking shit, and then you just need someone to just call him out on it and be like, "Do it right now," and then they never fucking do it. They're the worst. Bananas. I mean, that's like Bananas stirs shit. That's just what he does. I was gonna make a comment about how Tony like flipping his shit because of someone putting glue on his eyebrows was ridiculous. Even though obviously it was probably about his girlfriend and the whole nonsense with that, but. I mean, that's how every fight starts in, like, college and real life. Like, it's just boiling point, and then you just need the match to hit the gasoline for it to explode. And it never is, like, something big that starts it. It's, like, stupid shit like that. Dumb, drunk shit.
One time, I was taking a nap, and Germ put a sticky mouse trap on my lower back. And I woke up and was like, oh, what the fuck? And then someone put one on my forearm. And that's when I like lost my shit. I started throwing shit just like that.
Yeah.
Eventually, if you just put like your arm under hot water, it just comes off without pulling out your hair. But I lost my shit.
I would love to get JJ with a good prank. Like that's someone you like. You put that head on the wall. You mount the JJ head after you prank him, and you get pissed off. You can't get pissed off, man. You fucking ruin people's lives when you.
No. The back, I didn't care. The back, I'm like, yeah, whatever. But you're gonna take like my forearm hair? Get out of here.
That's
and plus, like, that was like an add-on thing. Like you weren't even part of the prank. Like Germ pranked me. You just jumped in there.
No, my buddy had a thing where he pranked his. I don't know. I might have told this in the past. They were in Australia. He put a bucket of water in the kid's bed once, and then the kid responded that like the next night his girlfriend was sick and she was at the puke, and he threw it in the other kid's bed and she puked all over his bed. Like there's escalations where you don't need to take it to. And Tony was Banana's always stirring the pot. Connor's boy.
Yeah, but I thought it was a good prank. Putting feathers on someone like that and painting his fingernails. That's pretty clever and funny.
Yeah,
but like sometimes you just had enough, and you're also a lunatic and a dumb person, and on drugs and cheating with a racist. Like he's got a lot of shit going on up there.
Yes, no, absolutely agreed. And the stupidest thing was going to set him off. Someone stealing his pillow would have sent him into a rage. It wasn't going to take anything, like you said, Clement. All it took was the tiniest spark. To set him off.
And like to be fair to Bananas, like and everyone in that house, Tony's probably like, other than Leroy, probably like the guy you figure you can fuck with and he'll just laugh it off. You just happen to catch it at the wrong time, and again, he diffused it pretty quickly. Like by the end, Tony was laughing. He's like, "Yeah, I'm an asshole." But I thought
Bananas looked scared.
Yeah, Bananas looks because Bananas also saw like money leaving his bank account. Because if Tony goes home and he like gets into a fight with someone else that like is in his alliance,
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, like. This is money out of my pocket.
Bananas doesn't give a
I don't think anyone or anything could bait Bananas into a fight these days.
No, not at all. I mean, he probably already knew about the $1 million like twist that they like haven't even mentioned or even like teased anymore because no one gives a fuck. But Bananas is definitely one of those guys that he doesn't care about your well-being or if you're happy or sad. He's like, how can I use you to get me to the money at the end? And Tony with like 2 kids and mouths to feed and girlfriends that probably hate his guts, Bananas couldn't care less about the guy.
Yeah.
Gotta respect it.
All right. Speaking of Tony, I have a theory, and it isn't so much a theory as it's exactly what happened. So, obviously, Tony has no idea when he's in those interviews what's made it to air and what's going to make it to air and what is on camera or anything. Obviously, he was finding out in the moment when the producer is telling him, by the way, a lot of that made it to air and you don't know what's going to make it to air. So something that caught my attention were these phone calls they were making in the end. I think maybe they have allowed phone calls in the past, but never, I don't think, consistently. And they certainly don't allow any access to Twitter or the outside world in any way.
So shit leaks all the time. Shit leaks all the time.
Yeah. I think this was a purposeful leak. I think someone... No, I don't think. I know someone on the show's production staff, through a burner account, tweeted something at the right people. They know all the people who talk about the challenge day in and day out. They know the Reddit threads, whatever. They tweet the right things, because how else is someone going to find out about that happening with him and Camilla? So they tweet it knowing full well that it's going to get back to that Alyssa chick, and then they can video him with the conversation knowing she's not going to keep her mouth shut. She's going to ask him about it. So, again, this is MTV knowing their show stinks these days. So they're like, oh, well, what can we do? Well, we could potentially just ruin someone's life. That would be good ratings. And I'm going to go so far as to say it might have been a step too far, that you're interfering this much. Now, granted, Tony's a moron. To do something on a reality television show with 1 billion cameras everywhere and think that they're not going to air it is moronic. But for them to go the extra mile to make sure she finds out about it while they're filming, while they can't really have a proper conversation about it in person, I think that's MTV knowing their show sucks. Hey, MTV, your show sucks. So let's spice it up and potentially really throw a wrench in someone's life. So that's what happened.
I mean, it was kind of funny, Tony being like, it didn't happen like that, even though he knows there's like 100 cameras on this show. It's just, he was putting it on future Tony. He's like, future Tony will deal with this. Try to put up another baby in her, hopefully, and like that will solve all problems. Just one of those things.
I did like how he handled it, where he was like, "No, I'm just not talking about this on camera. Like, I'm done with that."
Yeah. I'm not bringing my personal life into this show.
Into the show about my personal life, basically.
No, it's not even that. It's just like I honestly respect him just being like, no, like I'm just not gonna dig myself a deeper hole.
Yeah.
Like all he would do is make things worse. Because even if he told her on TV, then he went and she gets to flip out on TV. She looks a little crazy on TV. Meanwhile, he could just do it and like take his beating at home and say like, "Hey, I protected you from being crazy on TV at least."
Yeah, and you have to wonder. He's like, if they leaked. I mean, Tony's not thinking like this. But he's like, if they leaked this, maybe they didn't have good footage of it, but they had more than they needed, more than enough.
I don't think like MTV leaked it. I just think like some person like told a blog.
Yeah, but who could have told the blog other than someone who was there when it happened? Or someone, because here's the other thing. The only people that saw it happen were the people on that bus and the production staff. And having watched another show on Lifetime called, it's like it was the show.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the one that was based off The Bachelor. And you see these people and how maniacal their brains are behind the scenes. It was someone on the production staff who purposely leaked it.
Or it could have been. It could have been someone.
But I think it was just for like. I don't think it was like, oh, this is going to save the ratings.
Maybe not, but they definitely felt it could be something. Otherwise, they wouldn't have leaked it. Because there's no way anyone besides the production staff or cast knew it happened.
I will say it could have been like production was like calling their parents or something and was like, yo, Camilla went on this like racist tirade at Leroy for no reason at all. She had just hooked up with Tony and then or it could have just been
It could have just been bananas. Like
it's possible bananas. It's possible bananas has a secret language that he uses with people that he calls and yes, leaks things. I don't know. All I'm saying is it came from the inside. The initial leak, if you trace it back, it was on the inside. Fact. I will not hear otherwise.
But Bananas has like Kevin Durant burner accounts, is what you're saying, and he's like going.
Quite possibly, yes.
Johnny Bananas definitely has burner Twitter accounts.
Exactly.
Let me say.
Exactly. There's no chance he doesn't. Guy stirs up so much shit. He knows how to play the game.
I mean, I'm always in for the tinfoil conspiracy theories. Don't get me wrong. We all know there was a camera up there in that crow's nest.
Bro, this isn't tinfoil. This is ironclad.
Yo, how about if we're going to do MTV controversies? Nicole and what's his name? Hunter get eliminated. They go to the redemption house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't talk about like, oh, yo, by the way, Camilla was crazy OD racist last night.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, maybe she did and they just didn't show it.
But like MTV didn't want like fully like rehashed, even though because now they're handling it in a mature way, on TV right now, rather than it be a thing that's like gossiped and like brought up again and reminded.
Yeah, because I have a hard time believing that's something you don't discuss when you go.
Definitely, that's the first thing you walk in. You're like, yo, shit, you guys missed this wild shit.
Yeah. Especially, this is a gossip crew too. It's like this is like Pepe Sylvia from Always Sunny. Like we have all these conspiracy theories all leading to the top, and Bananas is fucking Pepe Sylvia, just leading this all together.
Speaking of Nicole, how about Nicole? Two things. How about Nicole wearing fake eyelashes that cost $300 to a challenge? Like Nicole, like you've been around for a little bit. These challenges could involve you going in the ocean, in mud. Like you should know that.
Yo,
I respect her game for wearing the nice eyelashes, but come on.
My wife was actually cheering for her. It was interesting over here. It got sexy.
Yo,
that's awesome.
I hate to break this to you, Connor. The $300 lashes, those are Nicole's like C level eyelashes, like the fucking $3,000 eyelashes she's saving for like the reunion show.
Which brings me to my next point. I did not know. Believe me, I know girls buy things in their lives that are more expensive than we would have ever imagined. But fake eyelashes, I don't know how you get them to be that expensive. I guess she mentioned something about mink. I don't know. Jack or Clem or either of your wives within earshot where they can explain how fake eyelashes can be that expensive?
Mine's sleeping. Mine doesn't watch.
No, mine's awake. Mine's awake. My wife only pays $70 for her eyelash extensions.
How are they $70? I need this explained to me.
Because someone has to put them on. It's very precision. It takes 2 hours to put them on.
Okay, all right, that makes a little more sense.
And hers are mink.
Obviously, she put those $300 ones on herself.
Those are mink.
Okay.
Yo,
Thank you.
That is some top of the food pyramid shit when you're just wearing another animal's fur as our eyelashes for fun. Nicole must take a full 24 hours to get ready. Like now, if it takes 2 hours to put eyelashes on and then her entire face, people are tweeting me pictures of her. Like this was a face we have not seen.
People are being very mean on the internet.
Yeah. Let's just call a spade, Jack. I mean, she came out firing. I love that about her. She's spunky, but, I mean, there was some stuff she
got too comfortable. That's what happened.
Yeah.
She was all dolled up 24/7. Now she got used to being on TV. It's like when you're dating a girl for a while and she starts shitting in your apartment. That's what it is. She's just shitting in our apartment on our TV every week.
Real quick, because I made a note of it. Did anything newsworthy happen on the boat? I don't really remember anything from it.
CT was
mangled.
Oh yeah, CT was wasted. That was like a throwback when you see like when A-Rod would have like a 2 home run game like a couple seasons ago. You're like, oh yeah, this guy used to be a fucking monster. Like that's what it was like seeing CT with like 4 empty cans around him and 2 in his hand. You're like, that's the guy I fell in love with right there.
Yeah, it's good to be out of the house. He was drunk uncle cheersing people.
Yo, I think a boat is definitely one of those places where you can't help but get a little toasted.
Yeah. There's a few things on a boat. There's the implication, and it's just like the beers go down. Carbs don't count, and beers are like water out there. They just go down easier for sure.
Yeah.
CT.
No rules on the high seas.
No rules on this. And like you said, JJ, like he was like fun, happy uncle CT. Tony's talking about like how his kids and his wife and his life's a disaster, blah blah blah, and how he had to unwind. CT just had baked a cake for Leroy. Like that's like 2 different dads in this world. There's like 5 kinds of dads, and we have the shitty dad and the pretty cool, awesome dad. That's like 2 of the 5 right there that we had. It was a very good dichotomy of it all. I guess the only thing left to talk about is all the Redemption House nonsense. I personally love that they threw him into an eating challenge and they had to like I said, I like seeing these people suffer, especially the people that were in the Redemption House, especially like any Redemption House, let alone this cast of people. And even though it was like Fear Factor, I hate puking. I hate it. To the people of the challenge, I know you're listening. I'm not a puke guy. I do not like watching people puke. That's all Corey did the entire time. He put it in his mouth, like grind it up and then spit it out. But I am not a puke guy, but I love seeing these people suffer.
Yeah, it was a good challenge. Eat something crappy, climb a mountain, or not mountain, climb a big hill or a set of stairs, jump in heavy-ass mud, and do that at least 5 times. It was a good challenge for sure. And
I would pull the Marie. No way I'm eating that shit. If it's a final and it's for, regardless, I'm getting like 15 grand, but I could be getting like 200 grand or whatever. I'm doing it. 'Cause I'm doing that for 200 grand.
Yeah.
This you're doing for a shot to go back in to still be targeted for maybe 200 grand.
That's like,
you're absolutely right.
That's like with Cam Newton when he didn't dive on the fumble. Everyone's like, that was a business decision. Like, do I really want to like break my arm for a game that's already been lost? Like, Marie knows she's going back to that house and she's probably going right in the elimination until she gets eliminated. So
yeah,
she definitely knew what she was doing there.
It speaks to those types of challenges though too, because I think greater than being able to eat food and jump in mud is the ability to block out what you're eating. There's a reason when they walk up, they make it look as disgusting as possible. And obviously they didn't have to eat it in that form. They chopped it up or whatever and made it so they could actually put it in their mouths. So Jack, like you said, like for her reasoning is like, this isn't worth it. But if there's money on the line, you can get past thinking about what you're eating.
Yeah, so I wrote down all the shit that they ate. I mean, the sewer rat fucking head. That was just that I'll never get out of my fucking mind. It was, what the hell was cock scum?
That was that was actually just, I think, the head of a chicken. If I read that correctly.
Cockscomb skewers, cow eyes, hard-boiled cow eyes, giant water rat, slimy pork nose, chicken intestine smoothie were the things. Captain Hardo. Would you have been able to win that challenge over, I guess Hunter would have been the guy?
I got a pretty strong stomach, so I this is a leap of faith, but I don't think they would feed them anything that would kill them.
Yeah.
So
other than, like, again, it comes back to that time when they had the wrong, like, the spiders or the snakes, and like, they would have died if you guys had done that. But yeah, I think
or remember that episode of The Simpsons where they go to that restaurant? It's like a Japanese restaurant, whatever.
Fugu fish.
Homer orders the fish.
The fugu fish. Yeah.
Yeah, and if it wasn't cut correctly, it would kill you. Which I actually think is actually a real thing.
It is, I think, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that could have happened. But like the cow's eyes, if they're hard boiled, I'm guessing here because I've never had cow's eyes. Don't you think that would probably taste like just a hard boiled egg?
Yeah, it would taste like some. I mean, that's the thing. Like, what makes a cow's other body parts tasty, but it's like it's just different parts of the world. Like when I always say, if a fly lands on your food, it's like, oh, it landed on my burger. It's like, yeah, that burger came from a dead cow. They just ripped its guts out. You know? I mean, so it's like it's all the same in the end. That was because shout out to Podfather. So when he wants to listen to a thing, Chap said he would love to eat a dog, or he basically was like, I would eat a shelter dog. I think that's how we should cure the hunger problem in the world, is eating shelter dogs.
I'd be curious. Mad countries eat dogs. I'm curious about eating dog.
Another dog eater. I podcast with two wannabe dog eaters.
I want to be, but like I'm curious.
I mean, there's something to be said. A lot of cultures eat them, so they can't be that bad.
Man's best friend. The best story of all time. Well, not best. Most fucked up is how Manny Pacquiao's dad ate his dog when he was a kid. Like, the dog's just gone. He just ate it. Like, that is some fuck. Yeah. Like, that's how you make a boxer. That's how you make someone who's like, I don't give a fuck about being in the ring. My dad ate my dog as a kid.
Yeah, but didn't Pacquiao grow up poor and they probably needed it to survive?
It was in he lived in the Philippines. Like, and that's, I think, whatever out there. So, I do think, and this is the thing I'm going to say to MTV now. The season's already been taped, obviously. Like, you fucking make a show called The Dirty 30, and you have the quote-unquote dirty 30th people, the dirtiest 30 people, whatever, blah, blah. You have to be dirty, too. So you say, listen, there's gems up there, and you just make them, like, grind for the gems, and literally they're all rocks, and be like, gotcha, bitches, and every fucking challenge should be a gotcha, bitch, and you haven't done it, you didn't do it, you fucking half-measured, half-baked it. And that's another problem we have with the show, because if you at least had those kind of twists coming, we'd be interested in it. Instead, we're just like, that's kind of gross. Is diaper breath going to get worse? We got a lot of those tweets tonight. Nicole, I will say this. Nicole, at least, she tried. I can't say she didn't try. She
definitely tried.
She tried. She, Jenna was like the most dominant person ever when she had to come back into the house. Nicole tried. She came in second to Anissa. So take that as you may when you make your power rankings up in your mind. And that's what I would say about that.
But no, Clem, I think that's a great point, because their big twist is going to be, we're actually going to give you more money than we told you.
Yeah,
that's going to be their big twist.
I want it to be 1 million Colombian fucking dineros or pesos or whatever the fuck they have in Colombia.
Yeah. That would be a great twist. It's like, hey, it's 1 million, and then some other currency that doesn't translate or not translate or transfer,
exchange rate.
The exchange rate is dog shit. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, like make everyone basically become Sarah from when Bananas just fucked her over completely. Like that's what you do. But I should delete this from the podcast because again, we're giving them free fucking ideas here. I mean, we touched on it really quick. Marie, she stinks. She's always stunk. I'm happy she's gone. If MTV has any fucking guts, which, I mean, she should never come back anyway. She definitely shouldn't come back now. Quitters are never welcome back on the show, it seems. We haven't seen many quitters since they've quit. She can join that sewer rat Nate and try to start some motherfucking reality show. She's gone. Ding dong. Marie is dead. Any other words about Marie?
I'm good.
She's my LVP.
Yeah, yep. Well, let's go MVP, LVP. LVP Marie for me as well for the obvious reasons. Again, and that's the thing. I don't even hate Marie, but it's just she's just completely inconsequential. And as someone tweeted, she's been on screen 100 times more than CT has this season, which is why MTV just doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. JJ, LVP?
Yeah, it was a poor display. I mean, I would have done the same thing. Sometimes you just got to eat an L.
Yeah.
And, like, you know what? I get it. I think, you know, and hey, maybe she won't come back on the show, but, like, maybe it's not for her.
Yep. JJ's also, you know, his boy is Jay, who once didn't eat on the final challenge and cost Jenna potentially some money. So JJ's kind of has a little soft spot in his heart for those.
You know, Jenna gets off on that. Like, so it's not like she was drinking that shit either.
No, she did. She was eating it, and he had to eat his stuff, and he didn't do it. He just was like, no, I can't do it.
She should have carried him.
MVP.
I'm going to stay on brand and say MVP is TJ for dragging Marie once she quit.
Yep. No, I mean, I think that's probably going to, at least on my end, that's unanimous because the tweets that came in was just like, drag her. Like, it was straight fucking, people were just thirsty for blood, thrilled to see her go home. I mean, TJ saves this show sometimes, and if the producers aren't going to do anything like the Dirty 30 stuff we're talking about, it's going to have to fall on TJ's shoulders. He's answered the bell many times. JJ?
My MVP is CT because he showed us that, like, a punch-drunk boxer, like, he still got that. He could still pop you. Like, he baked the cake, and then he went out, and he got blasted. And he might not go crazy from being drunk on this one, but, like, if he comes back again, like, he just gets a little more comfortable. And then he's, like, a comfortable girlfriend who shits in your house. And his version of that is biting people's heads off.
CT, we want you to shit in our house as soon as humanly possible.
How about CT when Tony was flipping out? He was like, "What is it, Nair?"
Yeah,
they put Nair in his eyebrow.
Yeah. Like,
also, shout to Derek for being on the show this season.
Shout to Derek's kid for winning his T-ball game or whatever he was talking about.
He won something by 2.
I just see Derek, I saw him on the boat, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's back this season. Like, I think I did an entire blog on Barstool about how he was coming back, a year ago, and I'm like, that probably wasn't worth a blog as it turns out, because he's been on the show for 5 total minutes.
Yeah, but it's looking like next week's his coming out episode. Granted, we're 11 weeks in, but he's finally coming out of his shell.
So yeah, to be fair, if this was a typical challenge, we're 1/4 of the way there. So there's still plenty of time for Derek to make up for lost time. Good call on the CT MVP though. He definitely deserves it. I'd be fine if when the challenge clearly is editing shit where it's that didn't happen in this timeline. That happened 2 weeks ago, but you just meshed it with your storyline. Just do that with CT all the time. You could just be blatant where in one scene he's wearing a blue shirt, the next scene he's wearing a white shirt and his haircut's different. Put in shit from 5 years ago where CT was balder. And he's a maniac. Just give me CT nonstop. I'm fine with it.
Give me a running CT timeline. It doesn't even have to make sense.
Yeah, it's like Pulp Fiction, where you have to place it all together in your mind after it's over and figure out what the fuck just happened.
Then that'll get people talking conspiracy theories. I don't know, he was wearing a different shirt when he said that about Anissa. There you go. There's another freaking idea that we just concocted.
I got 2 ideas. One, just throw an iPad in the house that only has TC videos. So all I have to do in their downtime is watch CT videos, talk about CT, really just get him fired up about who he is.
Yep, I like it.
Or ashamed and angry, which then causes him to flip out. But either way, you remind him that he has it. My other idea is similar to what you said about, give them Colombian just at the beginning of the season come in and say you're competing for $1 million or what for 10 million Colombian pesos, and that could be worth $35,000. Like, some obscure thing, but they have no way of knowing if it's worth more or less or the same or anything like that because they're all idiots. So they have to stress out and speculate about it all season.
Yep. I'm 100% in for that. As long as there's no internet, they're fucked.
They're just speculating like, no. It doesn't even have to be the country they're in. Like, they're in Colombia, it could be Zimbabwe and nickels or whatever.
Yep. Shirt nickels. Stanley nickels. Shirt dollars and Stanley nickels. I almost want them also. There's got to be a way to create an intranet. So don't give them access to the internet, but give them an NTV The Challenge intranet that you control as a house, and give them each like 30 minutes a day to like go talk on their own house message board or whatever, and just let them stir their own shit up when they think they're talking anonymously about people. Because they're all pretty good talking shit about one another when it's behind a computer screen. So why not just throw that into the mix somehow? Yep, I dig that. And like you always have like the dramatic where the girl's like in front of the computer with like the giant TV screen. It's like, oh, what are you reading? Oh my God. It's always a big scene. So I think that's a good idea. Plus, put fucking streaming cameras in the house. We're giving them fucking ideas again here. We're just trying to save this show so we don't have to watch a shitty product anymore. It's all we're asking. We're trying to we're heroes at heart. We can't help it. Jesus, look how much legs on Jersey Shore had when they wrote that stupid note. And now if you're giving me an intranet, that would work wonders. Yep. JJ, how was that frozen yogurt 1 to 10?
Oh, it was like probably like a 7 or an 8, like somewhere in between there. Because like I would have done a better job if I was picking out all the toppings myself, like in person.
Yeah, definitely seeing it makes a difference. Do you guys always go same flavor of ice cream, or do you mix it up based on your mood?
I go based on what they have.
Yeah, I'll go basically soft serve. I always go vanilla. But if it's like hard, I'll go whatever's in the mood. But I'm not a big chocolate based guy. I'm a pretty big vanilla based guy. I go some sort of chocolate base at all times. I might throw another flavor in there to mix it up. But if you give me chocolate, I can get down. Yeah, that's the cool thing about birthday cake. It's kind of its own fucking animal there, so you can kind of just really go off the deep end with it. So I appreciate JJ's choice there. Any last words here? Yeah, one last thing. I was at a wedding recently, and it was the first wedding in all my years, I think, that finally had ice cream cake. Oh, wow. Which is the best kind of cake, if you ask me. I love ice cream cake. I think some people don't like it, and it really pisses me off, the people that don't like ice cream cake. How do you not like the little black crunchy things?
That's the best. It's like a speed bump.
Yeah, it's nature's speed bump for the ice cream cake. They already have that. People are gonna start talking about putting speed bumps in their food. Yeah. You just created a whole new thing.
That's what like chips on a sandwich is. Yep, like you like tuna, you put like chips on there. Just a little something crunchy to like, slow you down.
Food speed bumps, dude.
Make you stop and smell the roses.
I mean, you didn't invent chips on a sandwich, but until right now, we never knew what to call that, and now we know. You just got to introduce some speed bumps into every meal, and it heightens the meal.
Yeah,
There's different ways. Like, yeah.
That's awesome.
That's how you lose weight. You get speed bumps. You only buy snacks that you kind of like. And I always say this: if you eat with your offhand and only your offhand, you're not going to want to keep snacking. Like, you're just going to get tired sooner or later. At least I would. I'd snack way too much. I like it. I like where we're heading here. So another episode down. Pretty much like probably 40 left or so. Like, I think we're gonna get to the next baseball season.
I'm gonna finish this in Philly. I'm gonna finish this season in Philly.
God damn it! This fucking show.
I started this not even like knowing I was moving. I started this, and now I'm gonna finish.
You were moving into your apartment when we started, and now you're moving out of your apartment. Did you guys see that commercial real quick about that Death Day movie?
Yes.
It's like Groundhog's Day.
Creepy Groundhog Day.
Yeah, that's what watching the challenge is like. It's like every day, it's the same shit. I don't know how it's gonna end, but it's gonna be like at the end, I'll be like, motherfucker, I'm dead again, and now I have to do this again. So, MTV, clean it the fuck up, man, for like the millionth time. Don't quit on us. We won't quit on you.